Hey guys, I'm Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, X-Men Origins Wolverine is directed by Gavin Hood and features Hugh Jackman, Liev Schreiber, Danny Houston, will.i.am, Lynn Collins, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Kitsch, Kevin Durant, Daniel Henney, and Tim Peacock. So, the plot of the Wolverine is that it tells the origin story of the Wolverine. So we start off with Wolverine as a kid, and he first gets his claws, and then since then once he became an adult, he was joining the military and all of that, and kill and destroying a lot of wars and all of that. He would fight in the wars. So yeah. And then we go to this movie takes place in the year 1981. Yeah, 1981 is the year this movie takes place. And so what happens is that Wolverine gets assigned to do a team, do a mission with like a group of mutants. That's a team. He gets hired by this man named William Stryker to do that, and William Stryker offers with Logan's brother to do it. Logan is the Wolverine, by the way. So yeah, his brother is Sabretooth, by the way. So yeah, and then once they do that, Logan decides he doesn't want to do this because it's too much and all of that, and he doesn't want to kill all these people, all these innocent people and all of that. That he does not want anything to do with his team anymore. So yeah, and then since then since he left the team, he's been he's been hiding, and he's been living in this place, this woods, this kind of small town in the middle of nowhere. It's mostly woods and trees. So yeah, he's been staying there, and he's been staying in this small house, in like a rock, in like a clearing. I think it was. No, it was like not in the woods, but it was like coming out of the woods, and you see a lot of mountains. So yeah, he was staying in a small house there with the girl. Yeah, with his girlfriend. So yeah, I think her name was hold up. So his girlfriend's name was Kayla. So yeah, and yeah, he's just been staying there, and he has this job where he cuts wood, where he chops down trees and cuts wood, and he only gets paid $18,000 a year. So yeah, and then from there we follow with his brother Victor Sabretooth. So yeah, his brother Victor is still in the team, but he's the most vicious and evil out of all of them in the team. But the team is not assembled anymore. A lot of people quitted from it, and he's the only one just by himself. It's just him and Stryker now. So yeah, and he's really evil, and he's been killing a lot of the mutants that were in the team. So yeah, and let me think. And yeah, he's just been working with Stryker a lot. So yeah. And so yeah, that makes him, and then Victor even hates on his brother too. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, and then once that happens, we see more of Logan, and later on in the movie, we see that Logan's girlfriend died cause Sabretooth killed her. So yeah, and Sabretooth killed his girlfriend Kayla, and then from there, he meets up with William Stryker, and Stryker tells him if you come with me, I'll do something cause after Sabretooth killed his girlfriend, that really made Logan want to go up and kill Sabretooth. So yeah, he wants to kill his own brother because he killed his own girlfriend. So yeah, and then Stryker tells him to come with him, that he'll give him the weapon to kill Sabretooth that'll make him stronger than Sabretooth. So yeah, and that weapon is adamantium. Adamantium is Logan's silver claws, because earlier in this movie it shows that his claws were just bone. So yeah, and Stryker ends up giving him the adamantium, but Stryker was tricking him that once he gave him his adamantium, he would clear his memory so he won't get in the way of his work. So yeah, but as soon as Logan hears that, he gets out of the thing that they were putting him in for the adamantium. They already finished his adamantium, but they just wanted to erase his memory. But then he gets out, so they won't. And then from there he runs away from William Stryker's place, and then from there he tries to find out where Victor is at, and why is Victor so evil and all of that, and like where like and then we find out that Stryker was lying to Logan, that that Stryker has a plan of his own too. Stryker is he is has this own island where he experiments on mutants. Like he captures mutants and he puts them in cages and he experiments on them. So um, so yeah, he just like experiments on these mutants, and like he's hated mutants ever since his son became a mutant, and like he and then his son, like I think, killed his wife or something like that. So yeah, so like he's hated mutants since. So yeah, Stryker just really hates mutants. So yeah, I think that is the full plot synopsis about X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, do I like X-Men Origins Wolverine? Well, not really. I don't really like this one. I don't really like this one that much, but it's pretty bad actually. I don't really like this one. Like something about this just doesn't feel right to me. Like I just don't really like this movie. Like really, like this movie just like feels completely different than all the other X-Men movies. And yeah, most of that has to do with the special effects and the action. The action is atrocious in this movie. Like all the special effects in this movie are just atrocious. Like literally, the physics in this movie, like everyone looks like they're wearing a wire. Like you can tell that they're wearing a wire. Like when they jump and they're jumping high, you can just so tell they're in a wire. So yeah. And then like a lot of the special effects, like the action, just looks really awful. Like the scene where Deadpool or Wade, he goes into in the beginning, he goes to like he goes to this place where these bad people are, and he's just doing like this with his sword. Like he's just doing this with his sword when like they're shooting at him, and he's just like dodging all the bullets with his sword. But that looks so dumb. Like it looks really weird. Like it just looks like Ryan Reynolds just was doing this on set, and he was like, please try to make this look compelling, please. This is all I can do. So yeah, but like that was just really dumb. Just him doing this, and like the bullets like going through it just looked really fake. So yeah, and yeah, and most of the action with Logan just looks pretty off too. Like the camera work with a lot of the action is really off, and at times it is kind of hard to get what's happening. So yeah, and let me think. Yeah, just the effects in here are just atrocious, and like just like in the just like and like the way the way just the way they fight each other just looks pretty fake. Like it doesn't really look like they're fighting. So yeah, just the effects were just really bad in this movie. So yeah, and the characters in this movie they're okay, I guess. They're okay. So um Wolverine in this movie, he's okay in this movie. I mean, I think he's the saving grace of this movie. Wolverine, he's pretty good in this movie actually. Yeah, Hugh Jackman like as Wolverine is always compelling. Yeah, so yeah, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, he is Wolverine. He's the perfect Wolverine. Like that's perfect casting right there. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Yeah, and every movie he's in is perfect. Like no matter if it's bad or not, Hugh Jackman's performance as the Wolverine is what really saves it. So yeah, just Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is amazing. So yeah, that's basically the saving grace of this movie. And what makes it really cool is that this is his own movie, and that's where we see Hugh Jackman act a lot as Wolverine. So yeah, that's a really big positive. Just Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. His character was a little compelling in this movie too. So yeah, he was pretty good Wolverine. Yeah, he let me think. What was there with him? Yeah, he was really cool. Like you can really tell that this man wants to do good. That he does not want to do evil in this team that he's running away. That he does not want to do bad at all. So yeah, that was a really cool character thing for him. Was just him wanting to do good. So yeah, and that's what he does throughout the entire movie. So yeah, that's what he's trying to do throughout the entire movie is just doing good. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Hmm. So yeah, the I just what I didn't like about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine's where it was his claws, his adamantium claws. I didn't like the way they looked at all. They looked fake actually. They didn't even look as compelling as in the X-Men movies. Like these looked really fake. And they were just you can so tell this is CGI. It doesn't even look like CGI actually. It looks like paint actually. Like it looks like technology paint, like Microsoft Paint. That's what it mostly looks like. Like an artist just went on Microsoft Paint and drew his claws. That's literally how it looks like. So, yeah. Yeah, so let me think. Is there anything else about Logan? Yeah, you can really tell that Logan really hates his brother for killing his girlfriend. You can really tell that he wants to find him and he wants to find Stryker because he does not like what Stryker is doing. So, yeah. Yeah, he was just a really cool character, and you can really tell that like he isn't like him with his adamantium. He's a wait no with his adamant was him finding out what his antimanium was kind of adamantium. I mean was kind of dumb because like he should be in pain. Like he should be like holy shit. Why the fuck holy shit this hurts so much? But no, it's just a comedy. Like they just put a lot of comic relief with Logan's adamantium in the beginning of the movie. So yeah, I didn't really like that at all. So yeah, excuse me, the lighting here is not correct. Okay, this feels a little better. So I was talking about what was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about. I think I was talking about Logan. Yeah, just like a lot of this movie. Wait, before I talk about Logan, I just want to say a lot of this movie does have a lot of comic relief, but it is always at the wrong time though. Like it's always at the really wrong time. The comic relief in this movie, and most of it, some of it is pretty funny. Like some of it actually makes you laugh, but most of it is just there at the wrong time, and it's not really funny all that much. So yeah. Yeah, just this movie like had a lot of unnecessary humor in it. So yeah, a little similar to It Chapter Two. So yeah, let me think. Uh, what else is there about? Is there anything else I should talk about with Logan? Is there anything else? Yeah, Logan was just really cool in this movie. So yeah, I think that's enough about Logan for now. So yeah, and then we get to Sabretooth, which Sabretooth was actually really cool in this movie, actually. Leaf Schreiber actually plays Sabretooth really well in this movie, actually. I really like Leaf Schreiber in this movie. He was actually really compelling, so yeah, and he was kind of like the side antagonist in a way, but he was still really cool, so yeah. And his Leaf Schreiber's performance, you can really buy his performance a lot. So yeah, he's a little better than Tyler Mane's Sabretooth in my opinion. And most of that has to do because like in this movie, Sabretooth like talks a lot, and in the first X-Men, he barely even said anything. So yeah, I think shit. Okay, just so you guys know, I'm using my laptop because like I for some reason I don't have a flashlight in my house. My house is a pretty small house. I only live with my mom, and I don't even have a flashlight. So yeah, and I couldn't even use my mom's flashlight because she loves using her phone. So yeah, so I'm just using my laptop right now. I'm on Google Docs trying to like put light on me. So yeah. So back to what I was saying about Sabretooth. So yeah, in this movie he actually says a lot of words and he has a full character. So yeah, he was really cool in here. And you can really tell that this dude is really bad, that he hates his own brother. Like he hates his own brother for not letting him do stuff and for trying to like hold him back and all of that. So yeah, you can just really tell he does not get along with his brother at all, nor does Logan. So yeah, and that was just a really clever brother relationship in this movie. So yeah, that's another thing I could praise about it too. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, he was really cool. Like I liked his big claws that he would use. Those were really cool. So yeah, and I like how he wanted adamantium, but Stryker kept telling him like, "Your body is not strong for it. You'll die," and all of that. So yeah. Let me think. Sabretooth, yeah, he was pretty compelling in this movie. So yeah, Sabretooth. Is there anything else I should say about him? Yeah, he was just really, really, really good villain. So yeah, let me see. And then there is Stryker. Stryker was a pretty good villain in this movie. Yeah, Stryker was a really good villain in this movie. He was really compelling too. Like he was the main villain of this movie. So yeah, he was a really cool villain. So yeah, you can really tell this man really hates mutants. So yeah, and you can really tell that he wants to swear an oath and he wants to keep doing these experiments on mutants. So yeah, and you can really tell that he kind of likes working with Sabretooth. Okay, so hold up. Yeah, and you can really buy Stryker's hate relationship with Logan. So yeah, and he is really evil. Like a lot of the plans he has in this movie are really evil. I will not describe them in full detail because it'll be kind of going into spoilers, and this whole X-Men series will be full spoiler review. So yeah, with Logan, probably I'll have to think about that one. So yeah, let me think. What was I saying? Yeah, Stryker. Yeah, he was just really evil. So yeah, and from there we go to. So I think that's all we have to talk about Stryker. So from there we go to John Race. Now John Race is a mutant too. He was a part of the team, but he was like Logan. He quitted when he saw how crazy it was. So yeah, um, so John Race's power is that he can teleport. Like he can teleport really fast. So yeah, he can't teleport like Azazel or Nightcrawler. He can like teleport just like as normally. So, yeah. Let me think. But he was okay in this movie. He wasn't a compelling character. He was played by Will.I.am, but a lot of people say that that was a really wrong casting choice. That like, if Will.I.am is the if Will.I.am is John Reyes, maybe have Justin Bieber be play someone else in the sequel. So yeah, that's how they see Will.I.am. But I did not have a huge problem with Will.I.am as John Reyes. I thought it was okay. So yeah, but like his character could have been a bit more compelling, but that's okay since what this movie already is just an origin about Wolverine. So that I can let that slide. So yeah. Just John Reyes, he was okay in this movie. Like you can tell that he wants to do good too, and you can tell that for a little bit. No, he actually does work with Logan to like discover like the plans with Stryker. So yeah, and you can really tell he wants to go after Stryker too. So yeah, let's. Sorry about that. My computer like blacks out really fast. So yeah, so you're gonna see a lot of that throughout the rest of this video. So yeah. So is there anything else about John Race? Yeah, it was just okay. He wasn't really in action all that much. But for all the scenes he was in action, it was done okay. Like all the action sequences were done pretty horrible, but some of them with him were done okay. So yeah, they weren't terribly bad. So yeah, let me see. Who else is there? And then there is Logan's wife. I mean his girlfriend, Kayla. I didn't really like her that much. I thought her character was a little bad, and I thought her performance was just atrocious. Like I thought Lynn Collins as her was just atrocious. Like it was horribly acted. Lynn Collins as Kayla. Like she was just horrible in this movie. So yeah, like all the scenes she's in are just horrible. Like all the scenes at the beginning are just really horribly acted. Like when she says that story about Cordosic. I forgot what it was pronounced, but it was a story about that and the moon and all of that and flowers, and that was just a really cheesy story. Like it was just really cheesy story, and her acting in there was just horrible. Like she always has this voice that she uses to act as her, and she just acts really horrible. So yeah, her voice is really distracting too. So yeah, so Kayla wasn't really all that. So yeah, but let me think. But let me think. Who else is there? And then there is Deadpool. Now Deadpool is in this movie, but they completely ruined Deadpool in this movie. Like Deadpool in this movie is not Deadpool. They call him Weapon 11 in this movie, and what he is just this thing, like this monster making thing. Like he's just like all white, and he has like black painting all over his body, and his face is not even his face is his he doesn't even have a red suit. He has a face with his mouth sewn shut, and it's just like, why the fuck would you sew shut Deadpool's mouth? That'd be like taking away Thor's hammer or something like that. So yeah, just them sew shutting Deadpool's mouth was just horrible. So yeah. And then like he has like these laser eyes, and I'm just like, what the fuck? You completely ruined Deadpool in this movie. Deadpool's powers were that he was indestructible, and in this movie he's not indestructible at all. He just I won't say. I won't say. So yeah, but like he's only here for really quick. So yeah, that's all I'll say. So yeah, let me think. Let me see. What else is there? So yeah, like I thought they completely ruined Deadpool in this movie, but in the beginning of the movie where Deadpool was a human called Wade, where he was in the team, I thought he was okay in there. I thought he was okay. He wasn't terribly bad in the beginning. I thought he had a lot of funny comic relief in the beginning, actually. He was really funny in the beginning, and like he was actually really cool Deadpool in the beginning, but except for the knife, the sword thing. So yeah, but in the beginning, he just had a lot of comic relief, and I just loved how all the characters were just telling him to shut up, and he's like, bro, do you ever shut your mouth and all of that? So, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, so, yeah. Let me think. I think that's all about Deadpool, so, yeah, and, who else is there? Gambit was also in this movie too. Gambit was a pretty cool character in this movie. I thought Gambit was pretty compelling actually. He was actually really cool. It wasn't really necessary to put him in this movie, but he was still really cool for all the scenes he was in. But like when he was in action, it wasn't really all that to me. But I thought his character was really cool. Like he was in the island that Stryker was in, but then he escaped, and then like Logan goes and confronts him to tell him like where the island is, and then then him, then Gambit and Logan and John Reyes worked together to go to the island. So yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool. Just Gambit like being a hero and like taking him to the island and all of that, but he's like, no, I can't go to the island and all of that. I'm too scared. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. What Gambit did. So yeah, and then he comes back later in the end, which I thought was pretty cool too. So yeah, I thought Gambit was pretty entertaining in this movie. So yeah. Let me think. And then there is the Blob. The Blob was only here for like the beginning and the middle. Like the beginning, he was in the team, but he was kind of skinny. But wait, was he? I think so. But in the towards the second act of the movie, like he's this really big fat person, and I thought he was really unnecessary actually. Like they didn't really need to put him in there. Like he was just there just to tell him where Gambit is at, but that was it. And then there was just this atrociously bad fight between him and Logan. So yeah, but I thought I didn't think the special effects for him were all that great either. So yeah, and then there is what's his name? David North. He was the Chinese man working with Stryker. I thought he was okay. He was in the team too, but wait, no. I actually didn't really like him all that much. Actually, he was pretty evil though. Like there's a scene where he kills these old people. Like he kills old people, like this old married couple, and that was really dark. So yeah, and I thought that was a really cool scene too for him too. So yeah. I just didn't really like his character in this movie. He was just hating so much and all of that. So yeah. And then let me think. Is there anything else was thinking? Yeah, but like yeah, I just didn't really like him, and like he just wasn't really necessary to me. So yeah, but yeah, David Norris, he was okay. And then there's Cyclops actually is in this movie too, and I didn't think he was necessary at all. But like he was still a little entertaining for a lot of the scenes he was in. So yeah, but like he didn't even have a character in here. He had no character in this movie. So yeah, but like it makes but no, it's a little bit of a spoiler. So yeah, but Cyclops he was still okay in this movie. So yeah, I think that's all the characters. So now let's talk about the scenery. Now the scenery in this movie was actually pretty good. Actually, most of the scenery was actually pretty good, but I thought a little bit of the green screen looked a bit shitty at times. But I thought the scenery in the first two acts of the movie were actually really cool. Actually, like the woods and all of that were actually done really well. I would say so. Yeah, and then but towards the end with the end battle, I thought most of the green screen looked very shitty. So yeah. But I did think that end battle was, it had its moments, but it was just eh. So, yeah. So, The actors, they all did a pretty good job in this movie, except for Lynn Collins, and I thought Tim Peacock as Cyclops. I thought his acting I thought was not all that to me. So yeah, and there are some other bad actors too, but like I think those are the only two main bad actors I could think about. So yeah, but I thought other than them, some of them did a good job. So yeah, and I thought the soundtrack in here, the soundtrack was okay. It wasn't memorable at all, but it was still okay. So yeah, and then there is the pacing. The pacing to this movie was okay, I guess. This movie was an hour and 47 minutes, but you do feel it. Like you heavily feel it, and it goes by really slow. So yeah, and the pacing is another negative too. So yeah. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, and Gavin Woods, I don't know what he was thinking with making this movie. Like he could have done a way better job with making this movie. So yeah, Gavin Woods did not have much of a heart making this movie. So yeah, and is there anything else? But one positive I could say about this movie is that this movie is actually really enjoyable. Actually, like if I ever want to re-marathon this series, like when if I ever want to marathon the X-Men series, I can just watch this movie and have a good time and just kind of laugh at it too and just enjoy it, no problem. Like I can still really enjoy this movie. So yeah, this movie is just pretty enjoyable too. So yeah, that's another positive I could say about it too. So yeah, and also the end battle in this movie I thought was okay. Most of it looked pretty bad, but I thought some of the themes and a little bit of the action looked pretty cool actually. And where the characters ended off was actually pretty cool. So yeah, and I thought this was a really good prequel to the first X Men, and I thought this was a really cool like stepping stone from the first X Men. Like I thought like this was a really cool like order. Like after this we'll go right after the first X Men. I thought that was a really yeah, I just thought this was a really cool prequel to the first X Men. So yeah, it perfectly matched. So yeah, to rate this movie, I'll rate it a